Strenuous told me I'm a beautiful boy. I didn't ask for that power, I just seek and destroy. Now proving everyone wrong, guess I'm doing it right. See, I'm goodness by day, but I'm madness by night. Tell me what's wrong, why you hurting the boy? Why you hurting the boy? Why you hurting the boy?
And at a point, she said her brother was forced to live like an animal, being forced to sleep on the floor and to either go without food or to eat dog food, drink from a water bowl, and that he wasn't allowed to use the toilet when he needed to use the restroom. She also testified to several more instances of abuse, far too heinous to repeat on live television.
On February 26, 2020, a battered 37-year-old Stormy Lorraine Johnson ran into a Las Vegas strip mall to ask for help. She was scared and she told an employee that she needed police and medical because she had just escaped from her very mean boyfriend. When the authorities showed up, they realized that the woman was in severe pain. Stormy let the officers know her 15-year-old daughter was still in the white pickup with her 31-year-old boyfriend, Corey Allen Trumbull. She told them she feared for her daughter Lexi's safety. It would soon be learned that she had good reason for thinking that he might hurt her daughter because her son had already fallen victim to cruelty, torture, and death at the hands of this man. After Corey was arrested, authorities learned exactly what had happened to 11-year-old Logan Cline. And it's horrific. Hello, my name is Holly, and this is the Murder She Shed, the place we honor the dead right from my she shed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're looking for rarely told true crime. You'll find it right here, usually weekly, maybe sometimes twice weekly. I don't leak. Usually sometimes twice weekly, right here in my she shed. Today was hot. Usually my German Shepherd joins me. He decided he'd rather stay inside, not in this hot she shed. So here I am alone, all alone, so you only get to look at me today. I apologize for that. I know he's much prettier than me. Before we begin this case, I do have to give a warning. It is a hard case to get through. It's heartbreaking, and if you're extra sensitive to CA, then viewer discretion is advised. After authorities spoke to Stormy, they began looking for the white vehicle she had described. The truck had been spotted driving slowly through the parking lot of the shopping center that she was actually at. Corey and the 15-year-old was in the truck along with 3 dogs. Authorities stopped Corey and asked him what he was up to. Corey told the Las Vegas police he was looking for his fiancée. Corey said the 3 of them were at Walgreens when Stormy went in to get something to drink. He fell asleep and she was gone when he woke up, and he had tracked her phone to the strip mall. Las Vegas police discovered Corey had an outstanding fugitive warrant from Wichita County, so he was arrested for that and also for domestic violence. Stormy ended up being taken to the local hospital. She had 2 black eyes, bleeding lips, bruising on her face and arms, swelling in her fractured left elbow and her right hand where her fingers had been broken. She also had broken right shoulder, left elbow, nose, right ankle, and 2 broken fingers. She also had severe pain in her head and multiple swollen bumps on her face. She told police she had sought to escape from Corey earlier in Las Vegas. At 4:30 a.m. on February 24th, she ran from the pickup to a 7-Eleven. Stormy was upset and crying, but a 7-Eleven worker called police to complain of her trespassing. An officer who responded did not see any injuries on her, so she ended up getting back in the vehicle with Corey. He beat her again. Back in the truck, he wrapped a dog leash made of metal chain around her neck and another part of her and around the headrest, saying it was to keep her from running off. He told her to drive, pulling on the leash repeatedly for approximately 10 minutes to strangle her while she drove to a Walgreens. Corey would strangle her with the dog leash until she was about to pass out, and then he would ease off. Stormy told police her throat was sore from being strangled, and she had a raspy voice, difficulty swallowing, and felt sick to her stomach. Corey took the leash from around her neck and savagely beat her entire body with it, punching her and hitting her also with a pipe. He hit her over and over in the right leg to keep her from running away. After that, she waited for the first chance to escape when he fell asleep. Stormy also stated something to police that they did not even see coming. In December, Corey had killed her 11-year-old son Logan, she said, in Wichita Falls, Texas at a Red Roof Inn. And they placed his body in an abandoned vehicle about a half a block from that hotel. Stormy had met Corey in June of 2019 online on a Kick app. Then they met up in Midland, Texas, and they instantly hit it off. Logan and his older sister Lexi's biofather was in the military and based overseas, and that is why Stormy had full custody of both of the children. By all accounts, it seemed like Stormy was a good mother before she met Corey. Both the children were healthy and happy until they met. Corey was a white supremacist and thought of himself as an alpha dog. He was into BDSM and used. Corey forced the children to call him Daddy and Alpha. After meeting Corey, Stormy and her 2 children and his 3 dogs moved to Chillicothe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's in Texas. They moved into a trailer at Chillicothe. I know somebody's gonna tell me that's wrong. That's okay. I didn't look it up. I forgot to, so I apologize. Stormy at this point became addicted to. The couple, while in Chillicothe, sent the children to school for around a month, but then pulled them out and claimed to be homeschooling them. Of course, they were not. The school contacted CPS around 4 times while they attended school, but by the time CPS did anything, they'd already moved to Wichita Falls, Texas with the children. While living in Wichita Falls, the couple jumped from hotel to hotel. The couple were both using heavily, and they also forced the children to use. Lexi, Logan's older sister, said that the interfered with her perception of time and also made her sleep during the majority of her brother's abuse. Corey and Stormy began to belittle and essay Logan, even forcing him to have sex with Corey's dog. Yes, I said that. He had a German Shepherd, a male German Shepherd. That's abusive to the dog, too. You guys know I have a German Shepherd. This guy was just horrible. Horrible man. Abused his dogs. He abused every child. When he would cry during these acts, both Corey and Stormy would laugh at him. They forced Logan to act like a dog. He was made to eat dog food and drink out of the dog's watering bowls. He also was made to sleep on the floor. In a video found on an SD card recorded by Corey, the couple can be heard encouraging Logan to engage in sex with Corey. They were urging Logan to touch Corey and give him OS. They also began essaying Lexi too. Corey had a tree branch he had sanded down real fine and treated it with epoxy. He would beat Logan with this stick. You know, I don't know if you've ever messed with epoxy, but I epoxy tables, and that stuff is so freaking hard. I can't even peel it off the tables when I make a mistake. I mean, I can, but it takes a lot. I have to sand it off. That stuff, I can't imagine if you were hit with epoxy. Oh, that had to be so painful. Corey said Logan was a masochist who liked pain, and he was into BDSM. Corey claimed Logan heard voices and would chase his sister around with a knife. Don't believe it. While living at the Red Roof Inn, Corey would carry knives around on a belt, and the owner of the hotel warned him not to carry those knives in the parking lot because he was caught several times doing that. While they were living at the Red Roof Inn, Logan was being forced to sleep under the sink and could not eat any meals with the family unless Corey said so. They also rarely let Logan use the bathroom. Before Corey had entered Logan's life, he had weighed 98 pounds. He was now down to 60 pounds. Logan was being beat daily, and Lexi was forced to clean up the blood from the beatings. Corey kicked Logan hard against the hotel wall several times. You just kick him. Kick him in the face. Kick him in the body. It didn't matter. Corey didn't have a conscience, and he didn't care if he hurt him. He enjoyed that kind of thing. Even though Corey was the primary abuser, Stormy would laugh and encourage the abuse. The couple would also mutilate and cut this poor little boy. Corey would refer to Logan as a F-boy because he stated he belonged to his dog now. Corey would threaten Logan that if he stole food, he would cut off his fingers. After receiving complaints on December 14, 2019, a Wichita Falls police officer checked the welfare of the children. He saw both the sister and brother and spoke with them at the Red Roof Inn. Both children and Stormy denied any abuse had occurred. About 2 weeks before Logan's death, 220-pound Corey stomped on Logan's head repeatedly. After that, he was no longer able to speak clearly and only could make small grunts and hums. He also could not walk very much. After being stomped in the head, Logan would randomly have seizures, and Corey and Stormy would respond by slapping him and hitting him some more. The night before he died, he was hit and beat repeatedly by the couple. Logan was allowed to lay in bed as he was dying. How kind of them. And at one point he fell out and his sister was not allowed to help him up. Lexi hugged her brother and told her she was sorry and that she loved him. Logan hugged her back as weak as he was, and he said he loved her too. Corey wouldn't allow it. He made them stop. He didn't like all that lovey-dovey stuff. It was too much for him, apparently. Corey told them they were not allowed to call 911 either. Lexi would attempt to rub her brother's feet to comfort him, but Corey told her to get away from him. Right before Logan died, Stormy attempted to feed her son chicken noodle soup, at which time Logan began coughing up blood. Corey attempted to give him CPR when he quit breathing, but it was unsuccessful. Corey checked Logan's pulse, and he didn't have one. This is when Stormy began to scream. Like, now did she care? No, probably just cared about herself, knowing she was fixing to go to prison. After that, they went to the store and bought some cleaning supplies and 5 bags of ice. They then came back to the hotel, and Corey covered Logan's body with a bed sheet and then placed his body into the bathtub. They left the lifeless body of Logan on ice in the bathtub for about 3 days while they tried to find a place to hide his body and clean the hotel real good. During that time, Lexi was allowed by Corey to say goodbye to her brother. She said she apologized for letting him down and said she hoped he was in a better place. Stormy then took off Logan's dirty clothes and redressed the body, put him in a wheelchair, and went to go hide Logan's body. Lexi stayed at the hotel while they put Logan's body in a wheelchair, covering him up, and rolled him down the steps of the hotel, and then half a mile away to an old abandoned vehicle, and then covered his body up with old clothes found in the vehicle. Lexi said when Corey and Stormy returned from dumping that little boy's body, they were acting as if they'd just had a night out and laughing and having a good time. They then used drugs and watched Futurama. This was done sometime around Christmas while other little children are excited about their new gifts. Logan's gift was being tortured, murdered, and his body left abandoned in an old hot vehicle. They then drove to Las Vegas because Corey said it was best to be as far away from the body as they could get. The SD card that had the recording of Logan's essay by Corey had been left in the vehicle with Logan's body. After getting to Las Vegas, they lived in an old shipping container. After they moved to Las Vegas, Corey met an underage girl and told her back in the Middle Ages, her age would be like womanhood. It does not specify the age that the minor was. The girl reportedly told him no, only for Corey to tell her that if he wanted it, he would take it no matter what. Corey and Stormy then essayed the girl. Photos were taken of this encounter and may have been some of the photos that were found on Corey's phone, along with other CP photos and videos. Corey told the girl he wanted a poly relationship and that members of the supreme white race should multiply. If he is considered the supreme white race, I would hate to see what the worst of us is. I don't claim him as part of my race. He is not the human race. He is from the monster race. Corey was begging for money on the LA Strip during this time so they could continue to get their drug fix. The violence began to escalate for Stormy, and this is when, she plotted her escape, because apparently even though she let her child go through this, she couldn't handle it. She had to back out. So this is when she ran to the store and got help. Why couldn't she have done that before the death of her son? Because it wasn't too bad until he started messing with her, apparently. She wanted to seem the victim, but her daughter ratted her out and said her mom was just as responsible for her brother's death as he was. When officers found Logan's body at an abandoned house in an abandoned vehicle, they looked into the rear passenger window, and the first thing they noticed was the smell of decomp that filled the air. They then saw a pile of clothing and 2 white tennis shoes that appeared to have ankles in them, as well as the end of a pair of blue jeans. The crime scene investigators said Logan's body had been found in a fetal position. Part of the body had mummified, while some of it had been wet. They used a tarp to remove Logan's body from the vehicle. The ME said this little boy had been tortured, that he had deep bruises all over his body. She said Corey had stomped on his head so hard that Logan's nose was badly broken. She said it would have been difficult for Logan to eat and impossible for him to breathe out of his nose. He only weighed 60 pounds. The bruising on Logan's buttocks indicated an extended period of continuous abuse. There was so much bruising on his bottom that they all merged together looking like one. The bruising was so deep it was into the muscular tissue. The damage to his head was damage that is seen in car crash victims. It only took 16 minutes for the jury to decide Corey's fate. Corey will spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole, barring a successful appeal. Stormy was given life in prison plus 20 years. Logan's sister Lexi is now living with her grandmother and was able to get off of all the drugs she was given. Logan, who was a shy, quiet, and a sweet child, loved to make new friends and was buried at Lakeview Cemetery in Winters, Texas. Rest in peace, sweet, handsome little Logan. So sad. I wish you hadn't had to suffer like that on earth. I hope you're now enjoying heaven with your heavenly Father. Sad, a horrible case, but I just wanted to bring his story to y'all since Corey's trial just got over. They just convicted the man, and I just wanted to get it out to you. I hadn't seen very many stories on this. Suffer the Little Children, I believe, did an episode on this, and that's all I could really find. So I wanted to get his story out there to everyone. Well, guys, I guess I'll let you go. And because this was such a horribly sad case, I did leave you with a few bloopers. I didn't want to leave you completely just in depression because this case made me extremely sad, and I'm sure it made you extremely sad. And as always, I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed week. And it's almost time for the weekend. By the time I get this out, who knows, it may be the weekend. All right, love y'all. Bye. Hello, my name is Holly. Welcome to the Murder She Shed. This is the place you get all your true crime addictions fed. So give me a little cred. And don't go straight to bed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribe button. Subscribe. That button. That button down there that keeps you notified. Well, I don't know if it keeps you notified. But you are subscribed, so you count for something, right? Maybe you should push the notifications bell too. I think it's a bell. I don't even know how, honestly, I'm on YouTube. I don't know how you get the notifications. I think you push a bell somewhere. But if you want to, you can. I would love it. And you get to see this Southern girl and be notified that she's got a new video out. How much better could that be? It's like you get your cake and eat it too. Although I prefer cake over me, and I can't blame ya. Cake's really good. Me and my husband used to take our 2 boys camping with us every year from Colorado. That was just kind of like our vacation thing. We'd take the 4-wheelers, go out, hit all the trails in Colorado. We had so much fun. And we camped out, just in a primitive campground. And at night when we'd light the fire up, the boys love my wild imagination. So they wanted me always to tell them a story, and their very favorite story was called The Brawl That Killed Bigfoot. I know. Sounds crazy already. But the sum of the story is Mom always turned into a hero. You know, Bigfoot would show up at camp. Dad would somehow freak out because why can't Mom be the hero sometimes? And Mom would use her final weapon, That was her bra as a slingshot. She'd fling that thing off, put huge rocks in it, pull it back, pop, hit Bigfoot right in the nuts. First attempt. Pulled it back again. Bigfoot had turned, hit him right in the butt. Bigfoot was scared. He didn't want to mess with Mama anymore. So Mom was going to give it one last attempt before he ran off into the bushes. And sure enough, she brought that Goliath down with her last rock. Well, Mom was the hero again. Every Bigfoot story involved me, my bra, and how I was the hero, of course. And they loved these stories, told always in different variations, but Mom always ended up a hero. Just the way it went. It didn't matter how many weapons Dad had. My bra was always the weapon that did him in. Bigfoot didn't stand a chance against my bra. Came up with the weirdest stories, but when they were little, they thought they were great stories. Now they're like, you remember that story you told now that they're adults? Like, remember that story you told about your bra and Bigfoot? It was really weird, Mom. Well, what did they expect out of me? I am weird. Corey was a white supremacist. I can't even say that. Don't know much about that. Our best friend is a black couple. Me and my husband. My husband and him are like, they call each other brothers from another mother. It's kind of funny. His friend is really tall and my husband's really short. And I actually have a picture. I'll blur his face out. But Simon loves our friend. He's just in love with them. Every time he comes, he's just fascinated with them. That appeared to have ankles in them. Oh my God. There's like 2 spiders. What are they, mating? Ooh, they're going to have little eggs everywhere. I wonder if this spray will work on them. God almighty. Alright, love y'all. Bye.
Told me I'm a beautiful boy. I didn't ask for that power. I just seek and destroy.